Dr. Craig Harvey, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the College of Engineering and Professor of Industrial Engineering. Brandon Newton, Engineering Council President and a Senior in Petroleum Engineering. Finally, we are delighted to have LSU President F. King Alexander, who will offer congratulations to the class and present a special award. President Alexander.
Thank you, Dean Horton. And congratulations to all the graduates. Are you guys ready to graduate? Family members, friends, and others that have come to join this event, are you ready for them to graduate? It gives me great pleasure to share a few records that we are setting this year, a number of historic records with this class of 2017 that I think everybody should know that we announced at this morning's graduation ceremony with Governor John Bell Edwards. This graduating class, this class of 2016-17, is the largest graduating class in the history of LSU. It's the largest engineering graduating class in the history of LSU. It's the largest female graduating class in the history of LSU. It's the largest African American graduating class in the history of LSU. It's the largest Hispanic graduating class in the history of LSU. It's the largest Pell Grant eligible or first generation to go to college graduating class in the history of LSU. And if you are a first generation in your family to graduate from LSU or any college or university, would you please stand to be recognized? It's the largest veteran graduating class in the history of LSU for our veterans. So if you are a veteran or a commissioned officer, one of our 23 that are going into the Army, Navy, or Air Force, would you please stand to be specially recognized? So you can take great pride in the success of this graduating class. Take great pride in the fact that our faculty, staff, and students, despite losing 20% of LSU homes with the flood of last year, you persevered and helped fellow students, and you helped others get back on their feet and continue on this dream that we are all sharing with you today. This is a very important, it has been a very important year for us, but I'm very pleased to know that you not only succeeded with an individual gain and goal that you had, but you helped your other fellow students become a record-setting year for LSU in terms of helping so many others get to this important day. I'm also here to present the Sean O'Keefe Leadership Award to LSU campus leaders deserving of this award. This award was created by the generosity of LSU donors to honor Sean O'Keefe, former chancellor, to recognize the leadership he gave to LSU, Louisiana, and the nation in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. To recognize and reward the outstanding LSU undergraduate student leader who has demonstrated exceptional leadership in the past and possesses the character, capability, and vision and motivation to be a leader of the future. This year, the committee conducted personal interviews and could not pick between the two candidates. Emmett and Tony Stevenson, the donors of this award, graciously decided to give 2 awards this year. The first award goes to Zachary A. Faircloth. Zach is a Pineville native, a Stamps Leadership Scholar, which is our highest scholarship for an undergraduate student, Ogden Honors College senior, double major in political science and electrical engineering, served on the Engineers Without Borders team in Honduras, president of Phi Gamma Delta, and this year's past president of our student body. In the fall, Zach will be enrolled at SMU in Dallas, Texas for law school. Would you please give Zach a well-deserved applause? Our second award that we couldn't decide between these two outstanding young individuals and young campus leaders is Christopher Dito. Christopher. Christopher's a Lafayette native, president of Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity, won the National Frank J. Ruck Leadership Award, commanding the Officer Corps of Cadets, commanding the Officer Naval Reserve Training Corps, Student Government Veterans and Military Student Affairs member of the Cadets of the Old War School, and treasurer of the Institute of Industrial Engineers. Yesterday, Christopher was commissioned as an officer in the United States Navy and plans to become an entrepreneur beginning with his own business after going to flight school in Pensacola. So would you please join me in a round of applause for Christopher Dito. And I'm proud to say the two fraternities that they were presidents of, were never in trouble during their so congratulations to both of you. Dean Woolman.
Thank you so much, President Alexander. To introduce our May 2017 graduating class, let me share with you some interesting facts. Our graduates represent 35 Louisiana parishes, 30 states, and 30 countries. 76% of the class are men, 24% are women. 79% of the class entered LSU as freshmen. Today, we are privileged to have as our graduation speaker an outstanding alumna from the LSU College of Engineering, Dr. Renee Horton. Dr. Horton earned her Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Engineering from LSU. She then went on to the University of Alabama, where she became the first African American to earn a PhD in Material Science with a concentration in physics. Dr. Horton currently works at the NASA Michoud Assembly Facility in New Orleans, where she is the Space Launch Systems lead metallic weld engineer. In her time at NASA, Dr. Horton has received 6 Group Achievement Awards. In 2011, Dr. Horton received the Black Engineer Trailblazer Award. In 2016, she was elected president of the National Society of Black Physicists. In her spare time, Dr. Horton is an advocate for diversity and inclusion in STEM, believing that diversity and inclusion in the workforce provide a dynamic, multi-talented group that draws knowledge from different cultures, races, and backgrounds, and ultimately achieves the most good. Dr. Horton serves as both a mentor and a motivational speaker for young people. She spoke at the United Nations this past February as a part of the first International Women and Girls Day. The proud mother of 3, Eric, Malik, and Denise, Dr. Horton is also the author of a book of poetry, Sanctum of My Soul. So today, we are delighted to hear from LSU alumna, NASA engineer, mother, author, advocate, and motivational speaker, Dr. Renee Horton.
go, Mama.
This is an amazing sight. But first, I would like to clear up a matter before I get started. I know you heard that my PhD was from the University of Alabama. I just want you to understand, though, that my heart and soul is rooted here in Louisiana. My degrees are divided, but my house is not. I am a Tiger. Now with that out of the way, good morning. It is an honor to stand before 762 future engineers, those who will change the world. When they're given the opportunity to inspire those that will lead us forward, I am always truly humbled, and I thank you for the opportunity to stand here and address the largest graduating class with all of those first African Americans, largest class, the first Hispanic, first woman. That really makes me proud, right? But it really makes me proud that this is my university, making these strides and moving forward. So it is truly a very humbling and honoring experience to be here to speak to you today. I wish you could see what I'm looking at. You know, you started it and they say, look to your left, look to the right, somebody won't be here. Well, maybe somebody didn't make it, right? But all of you did. So I congratulate each and every one of you individually. I can remember 15 years ago, because I graduated 15 years ago, and I was in the field house, so we've come a long way, right? And we were standing and waiting just to be able to process in, and my family was out front. I came back to school as a non-traditional student. So when I returned with 3 kids in tow, which made me a little different from everybody else, right? And it was after 12 years, and I was also coming back owning my hearing disability. I had known about it probably at this time for about a decade, but I allowed it to own me. I was letting it drive what I could do and what I couldn't do. So when I came back to LSU, I had gone through the Speech and Hearing Center, and they taught me how to own what my disability was. How to make it mine, and not how to make it define who I was. So with accommodations and being able to move forward, I was ready for graduation day, so 15 years back. And I had the thought standing in line, had I zeroed my balance? Because I wanted the diploma right in the cover and not the bill. So everybody here is good, right? One of my graduation gifts that day was a copy of Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go. When I got it, I was wondering, why they give me the book? I'm an adult, right? But then I got to thinking it probably was a better book to read to my daughter, who had, for the last 2 years, had been laying across my lap being read my textbooks. You know, there was Princess Electrons, and there was the Valley of the Gaps. And so she didn't know any difference until she turned about 16, and she picked the book up to read to somebody she was gonna babysit, right? And she said, this is not quite the story I remember. But we sat down and we read the book. We took the book and we read the book, right? So it was about 2 weeks later. So it's all the places you will go. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in a direction you choose. You're on your own. You know what you know. You are the guy, and I had to correct Dr. Seuss, right? Or gal, who'll decide where to go. So as reading this book, I was really excited, even just at the beginning, right? Because it was like, yeah, I'm an engineer now. I can start doing some things, right? Well, the book goes on to describe obstacles, ups and downs, hills and valley type situations. We read the book and I was thinking, man, Dr. Seuss is a little, not so optimistic all the time, right? He put them in the dark, but you're gonna turn on the light, and he put you in a hole and you're gonna dig yourself out. And I was like, man, it's actually one of my favorite books now. Throughout the years, I have often picked up the book to remind myself that no matter what happens, I am in control. of where I go. Let me take a moment to say that this is probably the most difficult speech that I'm giving. And not because of the size of the audience, but from up here, this is a pretty, sight, right? But because we had a serious mishap at the facility down in New Orleans. And they actually brought us back online last night. And so my team worked last night, and I stayed last night to work with them as well. The catch is my team is working this morning, and I'm here. And I know in my heart, as much as I love seeing the sight that I see right now, I should be with my team. But they gave me their blessing through some text messages this morning and said, go give a dynamic speech, Dr. Horton, and then bring yourself back to work. So that's my marching orders. Each of you will go into the workforce and become part of a team to get the work done. Each of you will have a responsibility to yourself, your team, to give 120% of effort to get the job done. The reason I say 120% is because you give 100% of yourself because you are dedicated to what you do. The other 20% is the tiger inside of you, ready to get out and change the world. Your attitude, your commitment, your dedication and work ethic will affect your team and your team production. So remember, you are only as strong as the weakest link, and you do not want to be the weakest link simply because of lack of effort. And as an LSU engineer, we don't believe in lack of effort. Each of you have a responsibility to the community, the university, and to the world to make an impact. You are blessed with a talent, and it is your responsibility to use it to change the world, to make it a better place. As an engineer, you have the skills to advance society and take this place to the next level. As an LSU engineer, you have the responsibility to represent the university with the character and pride instilled in each of us. Before I take my seat, I just want to leave you with this. Go out with determination to change the world. Create yourself a happiness list. Along the way, you'll need it. The work gets hard and it's stressful. You may not be sure of your way. You have something that'll make you smile on that happiness list. Fold it up, put it in your wallet. Ladies, stick it in that secret compartment of your purse. You're gonna need it and you're gonna thank me later. Decide what your passion is and what your purpose is. Pursue your passion instead of the money. The money will follow. And finally, I want you to know that when you find your intersection between your talent and your passion, you find your true happiness. My happiness is building rockets. So let's get this party started. Let's get these awards awarded, these degrees conferred, so I can get back to work and be an amazing LSU engineer. Thank you.